Spoilers ahead for Yasuke. It's like 6 episodes on Netflix. Just go watch it. What are you doing? Literally, just go watch it. What am I getting with Yasuke today? This is a historical piece, right? It has to be a historical piece, right? Like, everything is lining up for this to be a great historical piece. Oh, there's mechs in this show. Why are there mechs in this show? Okay, alright, mechs are fine. You know what? They want this to be an anime. Mechs are fine. God damn it, there's magical powers in here as well. Jesus Christ. Well, if any Netflix people or Yasuke people watch this, I made a little audition tape for you guys just in case, you wanted to hire me as, Yasuke when he's retired and stuff. Like, here's my Yasuke audition. This is my Yasuke live action audition, Netflix. I hope you're watching because I'm doing this just for you guys. Oh, hey, Yasuke. Nice to meet you. It's very pleasant to see. Oh, yes, I'm a samurai. Indeed. Oh, you want to see my skills? Oh, I'm glad you fucking asked. Yasuke is a Netflix original anime. It's technically a retelling of a historical event, but with a lot of fictional twists added onto it. The anime was created by LaShawn Thomas, who has worked on multiple things such as Black Dynamite, The Boondocks, Legend of Korra, and his own work Cannon Busters. Yasuke is an African who served under Nobunaga during the Sengoku era of Japan. It has been stated that he was seen in a few battles, more specifically, the one where Nobunaga died. There's been many portrayals of Yasuke in history. Neo, he's gonna be in the next Guilty Gear, and he's gonna be in the next Samurai Warriors. And it has been rumored that he was the inspiration behind the Afro Samurai. But this Netflix show for Yasuke, this retelling is something. It's very something. It's very something indeed. So technically, there's no documents about what happened after he was captured by Akechi's forces, so they could literally do whatever they wanted to, and this is what they decided to do. So let's go on this journey, see if we like it. I'll tell you guys if you should watch it, but like I said, I'm going to be spoiling a lot, so I guess if you care about spoilers, don't watch this, but yeah, I'm going to be spoiling this. Subscribe for the journey. When it comes to this story, I was honestly pleasantly surprised. At first, when I was coming to this, I thought I was going to get a lot of, oh, ew, you're black, you don't belong here, oh my god, ew, don't touch me. Which, there were some of that, but it wasn't filled with that, so I am genuinely happy for that, because I'm going to be honest, even though it's like an inaccurate portrayal of how things were in the past, I hate seeing stuff like that. Like, genuinely, I don't know, it unnerves me. I don't see how people can view others as inferior and stuff, so it unnerves me to see it actually happen, genuinely. This story takes place 20 years after Nobunaga's death in a small village. We as the audience know, hey, this is that black samurai from earlier, hey, we know that person. But the villagers of this place do not know at all who this person is. They just think, hey, he's this random black boatsman who occasionally fishes there. That's literally all they think about him. That's it. His life is very, very sad. It almost seems as if he is traumatized and or haunted by his past. All the people he's killed, all of the people whom he cares about, he's left with only the memories of all those events that's happened back then. And it seems like he just wants to get away from it all. The story does a decent job introducing these characters, one of whom was introduced by attacking Yasuke in one of the bars he goes to very often. And it seems like he attacked him on some Konohana type of stuff because he one day wants to be a great samurai. You would think, hey, this kid's obviously going to be a main focus. He wants to be a samurai one day. We as an audience know Yasuke used to be a samurai. It seems like that should be the story. But it seems like that character was just there to introduce the actual main character of Saki and her mom, Ichika. Saki is very, very ill and it's getting to the point where she's releasing powers, exuding too much energy. I really don't know what's going on here, but Saki's mom says it's getting to the point where they finally have to go see this doctor. She just recommended a doctor that she's always known about, and Saki's been ill forever, but now it's finally time for them to go see it. So Saki's friend recommends, hey, I know this person Yasan, which is Yasuke's name in his village since he doesn't want people to recognize him. And so, yeah, they end up finally getting on this journey after coercing Yasuke to join them. And then the journey ends pretty quickly. How does it end so quickly, you ask? Well, they got ambushed. Yes, they got ambushed by a mech, a Russian lady that for some reason can turn into a bear. Very One Piece D&D of you. Very One Piece D&D of you. Another chick, and this black guy that can use powers, I guess? The fight was pretty even up until Ichika's arm got blown off, and that drove Saki to the point where she basically exploded with powers. Too emotional, you know how this stuff goes. And it knocked everybody out. At this point, you can kind of see where the story is going. Yasuke is going to end up wanting to protect Saki from all of the dangers and stuff that are after her because of her powers. And that spirit and that wanting to protect her is going to drive him back to being the great warrior that he once was. Even though he wants to leave it all behind him. The concept itself is very, very generic. I don't see how it can stand out only by the fact that the main character is a black person. That's literally the only way I can see this standing out in the field of a lot of anime. Normally it's in a 12 episode format and this one's in a 6, so I guess that's a way too, but besides that, I don't really see how this stands out at all. Oh, and I guess the animation is really good as well, rightfully so. It should be very good. Another way I guess that could stand out, the animation is above subpar. Going back to the story, once they all came to, Ichika was nowhere to be seen. All we can do is assume she died because they bring her up, but we don't see the body. We don't know if she actually died or not, and I'm always like, I don't know. I can never trust the show. Like if you don't show the death, it didn't happen. It just didn't happen if you don't show the death. But it turns out that these bandits that ambushed them works for this twisted religious guy who thinks his evil deeds are an act of God. Yes, it's getting to the point where, yeah, you could definitely say you've seen this before. You've definitely seen this before. They end up ambushing him in the same bar that he was in earlier, capturing him, chains and everything, and end up telling all the villagers that, hey, this guy killed Saki's mom. Why would he do that? No one knows. Nobody knows why he would do that. But they're just gonna take this guy's word for him, and he also says that Saki is wanted because they want to protect her. After this, there was a nice funny little sequence of the bandits trying to capture Saki, but to no avail, and Saki ends up capturing them instead. While that's going on, Yasuke's being tortured with brass knuckles, and I'm beginning to think this preacher works for the devil or something, because that does not look holy, like, at all. I feel like the torture scene went on for a bit too long, but afterwards, Saki basically just comes in and uses her powers to impel the dude with the cross. Okay, don't know where this is going. It looks like you have a good use of your powers already. Don't know what the next arc would be for. We'll see. Any other show, literally any other show, that would be the end of season 1, and season 2 would be about taking on like the big boss bad guy. But they decide to do that in the last 2 episodes instead of milking it for another season, which leads me to say that I think the story feels complete after those 2 episodes. I know it will happen, but I don't know. The story just feels complete. I don't see what they can do afterwards. Genuinely, like I don't know the reasoning for trying to cram this big boss fight in the last 2 episodes. Jesus Christ, I genuinely don't see the point. Now, this 2-episode arc is going to be them getting ready to fight this evil entity known as Daima, which design was fucking awesome. It looks so amazing and so creepy. Her whole thing going on is she's after Saki for her power, obviously, because Saki was destined to be powerful than her. Way more powerful than her. So what's the next best thing you could do besides killing her? Take the power. Just take the power. So now Yasuke, who has now got his sword out, cut his hair, put it all up into his little old samurai getup, and Saki are off on a journey to find Morisuke, who Ichiko was after earlier because he also has powers similar to Saki's and will end up training her. But that training doesn't happen because soon after they arrive, the Dark Army appears and now it's wartime. Yep, right now. These last 2 episodes really have pacing issues for me, and that could have completely been fixed by making this into another season instead of trying to cram it all into these last 2 episodes. Like, I'm genuinely trying to understand why they would want to do that. I'm going to keep asking why, because I don't understand why you would want to shove it all into 2 episodes. Like, you build this up so much. Like, take your time with it. Take your time with it if you're gonna build it up and make it seem like it's worth the hype. You don't have to do all the story in one thing. Like, Naruto wouldn't have held up if on the first episode he's like, yeah, I want to be Hokage one day. And by the last and by like episode 20, he's already Hokage. You're like, where was the journey? Where was the journey? We didn't get to follow any of it. The war was okay at best. I feel like the best part about this war was the battle that Yasuke had with the guy whose ideology conflicted with his even back during Nobunaga's day of his reign. I feel like that was the best part. Even during the Daimyo battle, the best aspects of that were when Yasuke had to confront his past, because that's what the entire show was building around. Yasuke trying to run away from his past, trying to forget who he was, but it all ends up coming towards him, and now he has to confront that said past. That's what the entire show was building around, so it makes sense that those were the best parts about this series. Afterwards, Yasuke decided to do a Piccolo and protect Saki from a blast by Daimyo, and you know what? He got a consequence for that. He got impaled and fucking died, which drove Saki to finally embrace her powers, and they really showed this metaphor on screen, turn into a big old beautiful butterfly, and instead of Daimyo draining her powers, she drained Daimyo of its powers. That's basically how that went. And then the weirdest thing happened that it makes me know there's gonna be a season 2, but oh god, why did this have to happen in this show? I don't know. I always look down on things when stuff like this happens. And Yasuke gets brought back to life by Saki. Oh my god. Anytime a character dies, it bothers me. It genuinely does. Saki's whole journey was her being protected her whole life and end up finally developing into the person who's able to protect herself. But all of that development just gets thrown out the window once she brings Yasuke back to life, because he has to be fit back into that role where he's the protector, because that was his role for the series. So he has to be thrown back into that role now. And I understand why you would want to bring him back to life. I understand why, because you're gonna want to do something with the series. There's no way, with the hype that this show got, that it's only going to be one season. There is no way. So I understand why he had to get brought back to life, but at the same time, story-wise, it makes little to no sense. And development-wise with these characters, it also makes no sense. Yasuke's whole story was to confront his past, and he finally did that and got past his past issues. It was finally time for him to rest in peace and just enjoy life. That's all he wants to do now. Like, story-wise, that's the best thing for him to do now thematically. Just let the man rest in peace. Overall, I really enjoyed this show. It took some weird turns that I didn't expect, but I think the ending was as good as it could have been. I really don't want this to have another season, because I believe that this show from start to end is a decent, complete story, and having more would just harm it. It would do more harm than good, genuinely. Yasuke is a good character, Saki is a good character, and their development drove the story exactly where you would think it get drove to. Probably just paced a lot faster than it should have been. If you want to know if you should watch this or not, yeah, you give it a go. It's a good self-contained story that has nice animation to it. It wouldn't hurt to check it out. And if you have already checked it out, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below, and I'll see if I can get back to you guys. But yeah, that's basically it, genuinely. I don't know what else to say about this. Like, I don't want this to have another season. Genuinely do not want this to have another season. I don't think this holds up at all. I genuinely don't. I think the best thing it has done is probably open up animation more to the public eye, I guess. Like, more people than just the Japanese can do anime, more people than just French people can do anime, more people than just Chinese companies can do anime. But just don't let this have another season. Just make another show. Just make another show that's completely fine to do. Just don't give this another season, please. It's a fine story that had a fine ending. That's just most that can be said about it. It's a fine show that had a fine ending. Please don't come at me for anything I said, because this is just my opinion. And it also shows that not all shows that have a black main character has to be around. Yeah, he's black. Even though there are some instances of that in this show, it is more than just that, which I am always happy about. I'm genuinely happy about. So, like I keep saying, don't add more things to this. Let this be something that, I don't know, that just open the floodgates of having more people make these type of shows. These cartoons can be good like this. Look at the superhero cartoons. They're all animated about just as well as this. Invincible, everybody's been talking about that. I might touch on that later one day. But yeah, like, everybody, like, it'll just open the floodgates more for more shows to be done like this, which is always something very positive in my mind. But yeah, I'll see you guys around next time. Tell me if your opinions differ from mine. I'd like to know. Give me your thoughts and stuff. Don't just say it's good. Don't just say it's bad. Don't disagree with me. So yeah, goodbye.